these are my Precons. Oops. I spend a lot of time talking about how I would upgrade Magic the Gathering pre-constructed decks. I love the challenge of looking at an already made deck and seeing what I personally would do to tweak it. Oftentimes I look to upgrade a particular theme, cut a sub-theme, or lean into an aspect of the deck that I really love. But I think that sometimes when all you hear are people talking about upgrading a deck, it gives the impression that the deck needs to be upgraded. And I don't think that's the case. I don't think you need to upgrade a Precon deck for it to be fun and playable. Many Precons are incredible right out of the box, and they have a lot of worth and value even if you don't make any changes to it. I upgrade many of my Precons. I also sometimes take apart Precons for parts, or I keep them exactly as they are. Today, I want to talk about whether or not a Precon needs to be upgraded. To start, there's no one correct way to enjoy Magic. So really, how you choose to approach a Precon is really up to you. There isn't a right or wrong answer. So do you need to upgrade your Precon? Absolutely not. Do you need to leave it exactly how it came out of the box? Also no. I love Precons. And I have quite a few. These are all but one of the Precons that I have opened here. And because one of them I lent to a friend. And so it's actually at her house right now. But I have some that I haven't altered at all. They're exactly as they were. So this is my Kazla the Broken Halo. The only thing I've done to this is I swapped in prettier lands because I like full art lands. And so I put in some full art lands. And I really want to have this deck so that I can play Plane Chase. I have not had a chance to play Plane Chase very much, but I want to. Precons are such a wonderful way for people to get into Magic. Pre-constructed decks serve as an excellent entry point for newcomers looking to delve into playing Magic the Gathering. These decks are designed with a clear and approachable strategy, so they provide players with a ready-made foundation. Magic has a lot of intricate mechanics and a really vast card pool. Learning the mechanics can feel overwhelming, and being able to just sit down and play a deck, focus on learning to play that one deck, can make the game feel much more approachable rather than trying to learn everything all at once. A Precon with a well-coordinated theme and strategy can be like the vehicle a new player needs to grasp fundamental gameplay concepts and learn about card interactions. Additionally, Precons often come with a rule booklet or guide. I know when I first started playing Magic, I used the little order of the turn card every single turn for a while. My first introduction to Magic was with the Prismari Performance Precon deck, and I do think that knowing that the deck I had was legal was good enough to play with other Precons, and that someone else had already taken the time to select all the cards allowed me to focus on learning how to play and enjoy Magic. Over time, I built up my confidence and my understanding of Magic, and now while I do still love playing, deck building's also one of my favorite parts of the game. I typically bring at least one unaltered Precon anytime I'm a guest at an event, because I want to be able to play a Commander game with anyone. I want any of you to be able to find me at a convention and play a game. And so I do make sure that I always bring a Precon with me. Oftentimes it's the Maestro's Precon, and that is the one I lent my friend. This is the one I don't have here. But oftentimes that is the Precon I'll bring with me, or the Warhammer 40K Precons, because I'm obsessed with these. These are such good Precons and so much fun out of the box. And I really love how tight the theming is. I didn't really want to swap in non-Warhammer cards. I think there's lots of things to consider when upgrading Commander Precon. Precons come with a commander, an alternative commander, a developed theme, and often some staple cards. This is wonderful. If that commander speaks to you and you really enjoy playing the deck and you want to be able to play that deck in higher power commander games, then that Precon can serve as a wonderful foundation and starting point for making your dream deck around that commander. Upgrading a Precon allows you to enhance the deck's power, efficiency, and synergy, which, depending on the type of game you're looking for, might lead you to having more fun with that deck. You might also really love the commander, but want to go a little bit of a different direction. Upgrading a Precon deck can make that deck better reflect your specific strategic preferences and personal style, which can then lead you to having more fun playing that deck. I also have some Precons that I have changed and I have upgraded. One of those is the From Cute to Brute Secret Lair. I love this deck, and this was my Mother's Day present. And so I have had fun making just a handful of swaps into it. I haven't gone too crazy, but I have had a blast playing it. And I am going to put in one more change. You can see I've got a Joda the Unifier just hanging out that I think I might also put in this deck, which is why it's kind of stuck into the box. But I put in some fun stuff here, and I love this deck. This one is a Precon that I got at Command Fest Anaheim. This is my, as I drop it everywhere, this is my Galadriel, the Elven Council Precon. And so I had so much fun at that convention. I don't know if I've shared this story, but I was just given so many different versions of Galadriel throughout the convention. I had so much fun with that, and Galadriel is one of my all-time favorite characters. I cosplayed her, and I'm obsessed with Galadriel, and so I have been upgrading this deck. I want this to be a deck that's like able to play with some higher power decks. And so I've been having a fun time upgrading that. I have an upgrade guide on it, and those are most of the upgrades I've been making, as well as kind of tweaking the mana base a little bit. And so this deck has been changed a lot, and I'm having a lot of fun with that because I really, really love the character of the commander. And then these are two more of the Commander Master Precons. I don't have the fourth one. I don't have the enchantment one anymore because I gave it to a friend. And so this is my Eldrazi and my Sliver Precon, and I am upgrading both of these. The Slivers really need some love in their mana base, and the Eldrazi, I just want to make more mean because I'm having fun with it. And so these ones I am upgrading. However, there are also potential downsides to upgrading a Precon. The biggest drawback is the cost. If you're trying to make the deck faster, you might be looking towards popular or powerful cards. The cards that might improve the deck's performance in the particular way you want can be expensive. I think that's one reason you see so many people approach upgrade guides with a strict budget. These added constraints can also make the upgrade feel more fun and more like a puzzle. I personally really love puzzles, and I love thinking about upgrades and looking at lots of potential cards. Although the process of choosing the cards you want to upgrade with can be time-consuming or potentially overwhelming, especially for new players. I would never want someone to feel like they need to upgrade their Precon commander deck in order to play it, which is one reason that I always have at least a handful of unaltered commander decks. My favorite part about Magic the Gathering is the gathering part. And I've introduced so many friends and family members to Commander. I want to be the person that can happily lend someone a deck and help them learn how to play. And I never want someone to feel like they're priced out of having a fun game. I sometimes fall into the trap of wanting to optimize every deck I play. And I do think there's a risk of over-optimizing a deck for a particular playgroup. Rule Zero conversations are super important for avoiding imbalances within a game, and I think it's really important to evaluate where you hope to be playing a particular deck. Are you hoping to play this Precon against other Precon level decks? Great! Maybe only do minimal swaps or no swaps. Are you hoping to make this one of your strongest decks because you really love the play pattern and the commander? Awesome! Check out some upgrade guides and work on that mana base. I don't think there's an objectively right or wrong answer, but depending on where you hope to play your deck, there can be a correct answer to whether or not you should upgrade your Precon. But I don't think there's like one correct way to approach a Precon. I know for me personally, it really depends on how much I vibe with the commander, where I see myself playing the deck, and ultimately what I want to do with it. I do know though that these two, I'm excited to open these. What do you think? And how do you approach Commander Precons? And thank you so much for watching. If you want to talk a little more about whether or not your deck needs to be as powerful as possible, I spent a lot of time thinking about that, and I made this whole video right here.